talk maths. Okay, I'm going to look at exam style questions. Today we're going to look at simplify the ratio 80 to 3,200. Both sides are multiples of 10, so I'm first going to cross that out, both sides. That leaves me with 8 to 320. 8 is a factor of 320 because 8 goes into 32 4 times. 8 goes into itself once and it goes into 32 4 times, and obviously 320 is 10 times bigger, so we make that 40. So the answer here is 1 to 40. 8 goes into itself once and it goes into 320 40 times. Our next problem asks us to share £420 in the ratio 2 to 5. So there's two people sharing 425. The first person gets 2 parts, the second person gets 5 parts. We find out how many parts there are altogether by adding the 2 and the 5. So we're going to share the 420 by 7. First of all then, we'll get our 420 and divide that by the 7. Okay, so if we know our times tables, we'll know that 42 divided by 7 is 6. And there's a 0 on the end there. So it's £60 per share, okay? £60 per share. This person is going to get 2 shares. 2 times 60 is £120. This person will get 5 shares. 5 times 60 is £300. And there we have it. Person 1 gets £120, person 2 gets £300. We can do a check by adding the 120 to the 300, and that gives us altogether £420, which is the amount that we started with. So we know that we've done this ratio calculation correctly. Next, we're having a look at a similar question to the first one, however it's written slightly differently. Write 60 to 25 as a ratio in its simplest form. 60 to 25. Instantly we can see that a factor of both is 5. 60 is divisible by 5 and 5 goes into 60 12 times. And then we look again and we can see that 5 goes into 25 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 squared is 25. So if you know your squares, that will be instantly obvious. And we've managed to get the simplest form of this ratio as 12 to 5. This question looks at a ratio that's in 3 parts, and it's telling us that a drink is prepared with water, apple and pear in the ratio 4 to 3 to 2. Here's the water 4, the apple 3 and the pear 2. You must keep it in order. Water, apple, pear, water, apple, pear. The question I've written in green, what fraction is water? Well, to do that, we add up the total parts in the ratio to give us our denominator. The total parts are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 parts. And out of those parts, 4 of them are water. Our answer is 4/9 water. This question is given in the form of a table. Hopefully you can see this. We've got a two-way table that looks at the ratio of staff and children needed with different ages of children. So for babies, there has to be 1 staff to 3 children. For toddlers, there has to be 1 staff for every 4 children. The question is, there are 3 staff in the baby room. babies? 3. There's 3 staff there. How many babies can they take? Well, we know that they've got 3 staff and they can have 3 children for every member of staff. So we're going to times the 3 by 3. 3 staff times 3 means that they can have in the baby room 9 babies. No more, but they could have less, but they can have a maximum of 9 babies. Okay, so in this one, we're going to look at the same two-way table, but we're going to look at a different question. There's 13 toddlers booked in. How many staff will be needed in the toddler room? Well, if we look here, we can see for the toddlers, 1 staff to 4 children. Now that's important to keep in mind. 1 staff for every 4 children. Let's bring the table over here a bit and look at how we might keep using that ratio to find out our answer. If there's 1 staff for 4, 2 staff for 8, 3 staff for 12. Okay, now there's actually 13 needed, and our next add-on will give us 4 staff for 16. Now 13 comes in between 12 and 16, doesn't it? And we can't have 13 children with 3 staff. It's against the law. So we have to say we need 4 staff for these children. 4 staff for 13 children. They could also have up to 16, but for the 13 children, they are going to need 4 staff. Okay, this next question is looking at finding a fraction from a ratio. A box is filled with stuffed toys. They are teddies to puppies in the ratio 4 to 7. Teddies to puppies 4 to 7. For every 4 puppies, for every 4 teddies, there are 7 puppies. Teddies, puppies. What we need to do is find the total amount in the ratio. So I'm going to add 4 and 7, which means the denominator for both of my questions is 11. Because this one says, what fraction are teddies? Okay, so we know that teddies comes first, that's 4, and we know there's 7 in total. So for every 11 toys, 4 are teddies. 4 out of 11 toys are teddies. We know that the puppies are 7 for every 11. 7 out of 11 toys are puppies. We've answered both our questions. What fraction are teddies? 4/11. What fraction are puppies? 7/11. In the exam, they're likely to just ask you for one thing. For example, what fraction are teddies? And you would just answer 4/11. Okay, let's look at this question. Sam and Bob share money in the ratio 4 to 3. Sam gets £7 more than Bob. So there's a difference between the amount that Sam and Bob receive of £7. Okay? So that means that 1 part must equal 7. 1 part must equal £7. We know this because Sam gets £7 more and he gets 1 more part because the ratio is 4 to 3. So that's 1 part more and £7 more. So if 1 part is £7, the the total that Sam would have got is 4 times 7, which is £28. The total that Bob would have got is 3 times 7, which is £21. We can see that this is true. Sam has got £7 more. But what does the question actually ask us? Because it's very important in the exam, which is why I've done the question in a different colour, and I would advise you in the exam to highlight the actual question, because you could stop here and miss vital marks. So the actual question is how much money was shared. So to find that, we have to total this money up, which gives us £49. They shared £49.